Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhamad Fadli, and I'm here to presentation about suddenly fully online, a case study of a blended university course moving online during COVID-19 pandemic. So let's go. So the first is introduction. In introduction, we have a background. You can see in this. So let's go. Number one is point one is a student, teacher, content, and interaction between the three. Education is based on student, teacher, content, and interaction between the three. It is generally assumed that if one of the student interaction is of a high quality, deep learning will occur even if the other two interactions are significantly reduce or even minimize. Accordingly, one could envisage an effective university course based solely on a high-quality student-content interaction. Traditionally, this would mean students studying textbooks. In the digital age, many forms of online content would supplement or replace books. Students may follow a massive open online course or MOOC, even though actual MOOC usually do include at least some level of online student-teacher or student-student interaction. Even though the definition very blended, learning involves having a significant portion, up to 19%, of all interaction taking place online. Blended learning also incorporates some form of online and thus necessarily synchronous interaction in face-to-face physical meetings. The context is a course in teacher training that was forced to go fully online during the COVID-19 pandemic, while the course was almost halfway to completion. So, number two is consider the situation where a global disruption, such as the 2020 COVID-19 pandemic in university in Netherlands. But now consider the situation where a global disruption, such as the 2020 COVID-19 pandemic, renders the high-quality offline even essential to blended learning, not only impractical, but even unlawful. Most universities in the Netherlands respond to the change in situation by replacing the offline session by alternative synchronous but online event. How do students experience the learning environment during synchronous online and offline meeting with the same master course? With asynchronous education test suddenly becoming online, the issue of effectiveness of student interaction and other questions on the educational experience during synchronous education are raised. To what extent can a synchronous fully online meeting replace an offline one? And its interesting opportunity for a case study arose when a blended university master's course in the field of teacher education was forced to go fully online. Almost halfway through, after 4 out of total of 9 synchronous meetings, this opened up the possibility to investigate the student experience during online and offline synchronous meetings. Keep other variables equal, this study does not aim to evaluate either the transition as such or the experience of online versus offline education in general. It explicitly focuses on the way the student experience the online and online synchronous meeting of the same course with course content, structure, schedule, student and teacher population, and assessment remaining the same. So the next is method. Point one is qualitative study. A qualitative study case study approach was adopted in order to answer the research question and test the hypothesis. A qualitative approach was preferred since the research question require in-depth information on the various dimensions of the issue rather than quantitative information. An interview was transcribed, coded, and second coding was performed It was decided to use a random sample of 6 students out of the total 24 because large numbers were assumed to result in more students dodging this question, especially in an online situation, whereas a smaller number might not lead to be the desired amount of interaction. So the point 2 is university in 2020 university in the center of Netherlands. Excellent and differentiation in secondary education. It is a blended course with 9 synchronous meetings, originally designed to be offline, given by 2 teachers. This study concerns the 3rd edition of the course after its full redesign as a blended course. In this design, almost all the course content was presented in online formats such as article, video, forum, and readers. The offline meetings were designed to accommodate a high level of SS, ST, and SC interaction with rapidly changing educational activities such as group work, presentation, peer feedback session, Q&A, discussion, and debates. So, point number 3, 40 students from University Utrecht, Netherlands, a total of 40 code was found, of which 19 were subjected to second coding by an independent research. Intercoder reliability was established on all 3 coding schemes with coherent fixed marginal kappa for the bottom-up theme, for the primary type of interaction, and for the reference online, offline, or natural. This value indicate a good to perfect intercoder agreement. So we have a question. From Miss Sinta. The question is, in your opinion, which of the 2 systems, blended learning and online learning, that may be better applied in Indonesia? Please give your reason. So, in my opinion, maybe in Indonesia it's better choose the online learning for the pandemic, because in online learning we have way to realize, like with internet we have learning in each other house, and the option is didn't complicated. It's very simple, but lack is the internet. We didn't have internet in everywhere, but in Indonesia we have a quota Kemendikbud. So basically is a Kemendikbud. We acquire the quota every month. So the blended learning is better, but didn't consistent, because we must have big effort to realize and not all can do this. So thank you. This is my presentation. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.